Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to an introduction to Laravel Jetstream. So we will start with the obligatory Who Am I slide. So I'm Mike Gatward, Mike Ag on Twitter. I write code. I am professionally unemployed, as the joke goes, a serial launcher of things, and I am currently working on Flash Tabs and Campaign Manager to Laravel projects. With that out of the way, what are we going to look at today? So we're going to say what Laravel Jetstream is, a very high overview of it. We're going to look at the supported front-end stacks, some of the features that it offers, and then we're going to have a quick look at the demo of like a quick look around a Jetstream app. So what is Laravel Jetstream? In short, it's scaffolding for building a modern Laravel application. So it's using some of the new front-end technologies around the Laravel ecosystem. So you have your choice between Laravel Livewire or Inertia.js as your front-end options. And they both use Tailwind CSS. And an important point here is that Jetstream is not meant to be integrated into existing projects. You can technically do it, but Taylor, the creator, it's not built for that. It's designed for new projects. And one of the things it does is out of the box, it provides a starting point for login, registration, email verification, two-factor authentication, session management, API support, and team management. And we're going to go into those further. But first, choose your stack time. So your options are Livewire and Inertia.js. So why would you choose the different ones? So Livewire and Inertia.js, you can achieve roughly the same types of end results using both of them. These kind of like dynamic user experiences. The difference is like how you want to, what your template language of choice is. So if you want to use Laravel Blade, then something like Livewire is good. If you want to use Vue.js, then something like Inertia is good. I think Inertia might also support other languages, but the Jetstream implementation of it sets it up to use Vue. The features that Jetstreams provide will be built in the stack that you choose as well. So Jetstream will publish code to your project, and the views will be in the stack that you choose, which is nice. And just a point here to make is that you obviously don't have to use your chosen stack for your entire app if you don't want to. It doesn't force you to use it. It just sets it up ready and waiting for you. So now we've got our stack chosen, we can look at our first feature, authentication. So pretty standard, I guess, for application kind of bootstraps we have some views for login with two-factor authentication, registration, password resets, and email verification. However, a point to note from what I mentioned on the previous slide is unlike the other features, the logins, the authentication views are all written in plain old Blade with no JavaScript framework. So they're not going to use your stack of choice, just to make it a bit simpler. All of the features use what Taylor is calling action classes, which basically means that every kind of action that the application would perform, that Jetstream is kind of like bootstrapping for you, is in its own invocable class, making it easy to kind of override and customize and extend that functionality. And one of the things here is a new Laravel package was released alongside Jetstream, and under the hood, Jetstream uses Laravel Fortify. What is Laravel Fortify? I hear you ask. Well, let's have a very quick look at Laravel Fortify. So, Laravel Fortify is a front-end agnostic authentication backend for Laravel. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Basically, what that means is it is a headless authentication. So it is all of the back-end code for handling anything to do with authentication, which you can then write your own front-end UI in your front-end stack of choice on top of. Similar to the feature set of Jetstream, it includes authentication stuff, so login, two-factor authentication, registration, password resets, and email verification. All of the back-end stuff for the way that that works in Jetstream is actually handled by Laravel Fortify. And if you want to know more, the docs are available at github.com/Laravel Fortify. Thank you for watching my talk on Laravel Fortify. It is now time to go back to learning more about Jetstream, specifically profile management. So this is another thing that comes built in Jetstream. And these are all common uses of applications, right? Anything that's got users, you're going to need to like manage some kind of profile. You're going to need to do authentication. So these are all common features that we want in new projects. So as with the other features, these views are created in your project, so they're fully customizable, and it provides out of the box a UI to update name, email address, and profile pictures, as well as account deletion. And again, all of these processes are handled by action classes, so that you can edit and change how they work if you need to. So another important part is security. So there is a whole security section in the profile page. So obviously, again, standard features that we would expect to see in almost any app that come out the box here. Update your password, and the ability to set up two-factor authentication, which I think is maybe not something that is as regular in kind of like boilerplate applications, as well as being able to manage and log out sessions in other browsers and devices. Again, I think that's maybe not as common a thing. Certainly, that's new to the Laravel Bootstrap boilerplatey world, if you like. Another part of the security is that Jetstream also includes a component for confirming the user's password before allowing an action. So this might be, say, when you want to delete your account. For example, it'll ask you to confirm your password before you delete your account. It has a built-in way of doing that to make it nice and simple for you. So it's a regular action that you might want to perform, and Jetstream's got you covered. Next up, the API. So APIs, again, quite common. Jetstream uses Laravel Sanctum, which is not new to Jetstream. Sanctum's been out for a little bit. It used to be called Laravel Airlock, if anyone remembers that name. But they had to change the name, so it's now called Sanctum. It's a featherweight authentication system for single-page applications, mobile applications, kind of simple token-based APIs. And it basically just allows a user to generate multiple tokens and with different permissions. So you can see in the screenshot there, I don't know how big that is for you guys, but hopefully you can read it. So you can like name your token, select which permissions it has, create it, and it'll show you the token. And then you can use that to authenticate with an API. A feature that I really like is Teams. So I don't know about you lot, but the stuff that I tend to build is normally business focused. So team functionality is in most of the stuff that I end up doing. So this allows each user to create and belong to multiple teams. It by default creates what it calls a personal team for each user. When a new user is created in an application that has Teams enabled. It comes with UI for managing the team and for managing the members. And members can be assigned roles, which are assigned a set of permissions. You get some default ones out the box, but again, obviously this is all customizable. You can add your own in. And the thing that's really nice is there's a lot of built-in methods, in the code side of things that allow for like easy interactions with teams on users and teams. So, for example, being able to check that a person belongs to a particular team and that they have a particular permission to perform an action on a team. So there's a lot of nicety there. And the image is on a different slide because I couldn't fit it on. But here you can see this is roughly what it looks like. We'll go over this in the demo where we'll be able to see it. Which actually, looking at my slide, is the next one. So you can all actually go to this link if you wish. So it's jetstream.bycontrast.co. I'm going to click this button, and it did. There we go. That's good. So this is just a straight up. I've done Jetstream install, created a Jetstream project, and then deployed it using Forge. So this is the home page we get. We have a register page, as you would expect, with different kind of validation. And I already have an account, so I can log in. And here, so this is all Tailwind CSS is the styling. And it's using, I think I chose Inertia for this. So this is using Inertia.js. But ultimately, you wouldn't notice any difference. So we can have a quick look through some of the things that we saw before. So here, so we can upload a profile picture, hit save, and you can see that that's uploaded there. Or if we remove it, then it will use, can't remember off the top of my head, it's using a service to automatically generate that based on my name, basically. Again, here we can see that we've got what we would expect, being able to update the password. We've got two-factor authentication, which I can enable if I open my phone. So if I pop my password in and then scan QR code, then if I log out, I can log in, and then when I log in, it's going to ask me for a code. And now I've logged in. So you can see that there's nothing that you have to do to get that working. That just works out of the box. You just get two-factor authentication. There's no setup that you have to do from a developer's point of view to make that work. So I'm going to disable that because that's annoying. So that's quite nice. Another one here, we have browser sessions. So if I open an incognito and go to Jetstream, oh, that's my website. By contrast, and I log in here. So we can see that I'm logged in. If I swap back and refresh this page, we can see that there's now two different instances, and I can say, actually, I want to log out of the other sessions and keep this one active. When I swap back, I think it's when I go to do something different. So now it's logged me out. So it's asking me to log back in. Again, this is all customizable. You can change what this does. If I refresh, it's just going to take me to the login page rather than having it in a modal. So that is the browser session stuff. And then obviously I can delete my account, which I won't do now. So there, API tokens is next. API tokens. So we'll quickly just run through this. So you can have whatever your thing is, select some of the permissions you want, creates, tells you what your API token is. It's pretty standard stuff, but it's a nice UI to handle this. I'm not sure about you lot, but my applications, I tend not to offer a public API, but I do use the API functionality to authenticate my users when they're on the front end hitting APIs, hitting the API. And it could work being for both. It's just I choose not to expose an external API publicly. So that's APIs, and then we've got teams. And has someone invited me to a team? Is that what that is? Okay, don't know why that says Donald's team. Someone invited me. Okay,
was me,
that's fine.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, so I haven't seen that before because obviously I've only been testing it with myself. So yeah, so you can in your team you can. Oh, I'm on your team on that one. Well, yeah, so you can see that this is a team that I obviously have access to, or I can swap back to my team, and then I can edit things. I can add team members and choose. So the roles and permissions for the roles are handled in the code. And we can invite people, or we can create a new team. So like team. And now we can be part of the red team. And again, like if this is your application, then maybe you would want to take this and like put it up in the UI or something so that it's more obvious what team you're currently on. But we can hit, oh, not that one. We can hit here, and then we can like delete the team. And I think that's everything, right? Yeah. So we can head back here. So that's kind of a quick look at Laravel Jetstream. So in summary, it's a great way to get quickly started on a new application with like login, two-factor authentication, registration, email verification, session management, API, and teams. And if you're familiar with Tailwind CSS, and if you're familiar with Livewire or Inertia.js, then Jetstream is going to be great for you. But what if you're not familiar with Livewire or Inertia? Well, in that case, a very quick look at Laravel Breeze. This is a new package released by Taylor after Jetstream, where there was a little bit of backlash inside the community of the move to Livewire and Inertia, with people saying like that's not the stack that they use. So Breeze is basically a cut down version of Jetstream. So it provides a minimal and simple starting point for building a Laravel application with only authentication. So it's still using Tailwind, but Laravel Breeze publishes just plain old Blade views into your applications, as well as the same set of authentication controllers. The difference here is that Breeze only offers you login, registration, and email verification out of the box. So if you want something a little bit more involved, then Jetstream is for you. If you want something a little bit more simple, then Breeze is the way to go. And if you're looking for something where you just want to roll your own and you want the back end stuff done for you, then Fortify is the answer. And that is the actual end of the presentation. Thanks for listening. Thanks for paying attention. And are there any questions?